Ryder is finally here to take over the channel. He is on the High Elves, of course. But what else would he be playing? Up against War God on Kislev. For Ryder, we has Lariel, the loudmouth who won't shut up, on foot. Going to be rocking Earthblood and Star of Avalorn, of course, plus Life Bloom and Boon of Isha. She just does not stop talking, does she? Spearmen up front, two of those bad boys with double Swordmasters, of course. Got some more spearmen in the back and dragon princes on both flanks, including some archers in the center and some lion chariots of Krace. Very cool. Hopefully those guys do well. I don't expect much of them, but we'll see. We got double war lions as well. For the Kislev side, we do have Ice Witch on a Frostworm, of course. No surprise there. Snowflake, plus Gust of True Flight and Blizzard. And the Snow Leopard Summon. Got Armored Corsairs for the front line. Some Winged Lancers as the Cav. No other Cav. Yeah, one over here. I'm blind. 2 Winged Lancers in total. Double Kislevite Warriors in the flank, triple Kislevite, excuse me, and a little Grom, which is obviously going to be pretty good here against the High Elves, and double Light War Sleds. Let's see how this goes. Light War Sleds already skirmishing. Going to try to probably get some promising shots there on the Fireborn. Maybe even shooting at the War Lions is a good idea as well. But might want to be a little bit careful there. Probably pushing in a little too greedy. Fireborn going to jump over and potentially try to catch him, but they take a nasty little volley there. Was that from Little Grom? I think it was. Yes, it is. It is aiming now at the Fireborn at the moment. Might be able to get another cross shot there. The Winged Lancers take a nasty charge there from those Fireborn. And now that the Fireborn are engaged with the Winged Lancers, they're not going to be able to get shot by the Little Grom. As you can see, it is obstructed at the moment. And they are also being supported by Spearmen as well. But the Fireborn are taking quite a bit of damage in return, thanks to the Snow Leopard being summoned in, and the Light War Sled is able to shoot into their flanks. So definitely a desperate need of a heal at the moment. If they don't get healed off in time, they might just not be worth healing after that point. The Ice Witch is now there as well, and that's going to make it very, very, very bad for the Fireborn, but hopefully the rest of the army can make up for that engagement. Though I still think it went a little... I still think the Fireborn got some decent value out of that. 800. No, definitely not as much as they'd want to. The Swordmasters are going to have a great there as they chop apart Armored Corsairs. Both of them just... beautiful engagement between both of them. Gonna have a wonderful time there. Also, the Lion Chariots get a nice little charge in the Armored Corsairs, and then a rear charge there on the Armored Corsairs as they rip through the first one. Beautiful. And then the Winged Lancers come in, however, try to shut those guys down, but I think the Lions are going to be able to get out perfectly fine, have no issues at all. Winged Lancers are not going to be able to do anything about that, as the Armored Corsairs now have their By Our Blood procced, and they're going to be routing here soon. The War Lions are also getting some very nice value off of them. The Kislev infantry will be collapsing very, very quickly. Armored Corsairs shooting at the back line of the Spearmen, and trying to get some value off their pistols. One of those spearmen are going to run over to try to shut those guys down. However, the Light War Sleds still causing disruption in the backline. Fireborn continue to cause issues for the Kislev. You would think that they would have routed off earlier, but no, they didn't. They kept on freaking fighting. They are the freaking Fireborn. They will keep on harassing. They will stay in the fight no matter what. Here we are going to be protecting Alariel's backline and doing their best. Spearmen take a nasty little blizzard there, ripping apart, just actually deleting them from the freaking game there. Dragon Princess continue chasing after the Light War Sleds, hopefully shutting those guys down. By Her Blood is procced for them, so once that is gone, maybe they'll be routing there right after that. But I say that unfortunately the Dragon Princess do get terror routed thanks to the Ice Witch. Snowflake Pendant popped, hopefully they get some power recharge rate there soon. The Winged Lancers come back, but then you have 3 models. These Light War Sleds still continue to be chased away by the Light the lion chariots not going to do too much damage, I imagine, but the fireborn continuing to harass them. Only 5 models left and they're still going. It's just like that Empire game that I casted the other day, where the demigryphs just continue fighting on for their general no matter what. Fireborn did the same until they freaking shattered. That is so insane. I wish every elite cat was like that. My god, wow, that is incredible. Swordmasters, however, are now getting shot in the flanks by those pistols from armored corsairs. However, they're not as good as they used to be. They will still provide a little poke, little chip damage here and there. But yeah, not mainly AP like they used to be before, unfortunately for the armored corsairs. So not going to get as much damage, but it's okay, because what they lack for in AP, the light war sleds will make up for it, and are getting some nasty little charges there on those swordmasters. But in turn, they are getting some chip damage from the swordmasters, so got to be careful there as they start to pull out. And the lion chariots are trying to aid in this fight as they get a charge there from the armored corsairs, but the winged lancers are going to try to shut them down. But now By Our Blood is procced on the armored corsairs, might be routing here soon. Another blizzard possibly coming in here on the swordmasters. It should be pretty bad. I think the blizzard has some pretty decent AP. Yes, it does. 100% AP, in fact. And yeah, those swordmasters are getting absolutely roasted. Oh my god. Those 4 swordmasters. Lariel can do nothing about it. And now she's just going to probably get beaten up by the Ice Witch. I say that, but she is foot Lariel, so she's not going to take as much damage as she would if she were on a mount. The balance of power looking to be in favor of the Kislev side, and I'm inclined to agree. But I would say that, but Kislev is running out of resources. Armored corsairs are running out of ammo. Little Grom, it doesn't have that great of targets to shoot at anymore, aside from the lion chariots. Lion chariots honestly aren't even that great of a target anyways, and are engaged constantly with the cav and chariots of the Kislev side. But they got a really nasty shot there on the lion chariots. They're probably shooting down the model there. I missed whether or not killed a model, but I saw that damage, the HP damage it got from it, and it took quite a bit. So Little Grom's still playing a bit of dividends there in that late game. War Lions getting a side charge there on the armored corsair, trying to shut those guys down, but By Our Blood is keeping them in the game, and unfortunately War Lions rout before the armored corsairs do. But the armored corsairs should be following soon, riding off the field. Spearman hopefully going to win that out, but I don't know. Armored corsairs turn things around sometimes. Spearman getting potentially a hill there from it looks like they're semi in that circle there, but they did not get that hill, unfortunately. Dragon Princes do get a nerf blood, however. Going to be keeping them in the game. Hopefully, I think these Dragon Princes might be able to save the day here for the High Elves if they get out of the way of that blizzard, and I think they might just in time. Just slightly, just freaking slightly. A few models tagged in there, but they do get out just in time, and I would shut down the Little Grom there, especially with the help of the War Lions. War Lions and Dragon Princes really trying to save the day for the High Elves here, but the Ice Witch just causing so much issue, and I don't think the High Elves are going to have enough to shut down that Ice Witch. What would they have? I mean, but at the same time, you could say that the Ice Witch doesn't have that much HP left. 4,000. I mean, 4,000 is still a lot, but 4,000 is not enough potentially for her to have to finish off the Swordmasters and all the rest of these infantry. But I say that, but the Archer Swordmasters are in fact fairly beat up themselves. I don't know. This is a very big toss-up. Balance of Power seems to think it's much more in favor of the High Elves, but I'm not sure. I mean, a Larry, I mean, she's hard to hit. You know, I mean, she's got another Earthblood coming in there on the Dragon Princess. They're going to continue charging her down, and I think this is the High Elves game here. The Ice Witch is going to continue scrapping. She did not hear no bell. No, she did not, baby. She's going to keep on fighting for Kislev. If anybody loves their homeland, it's definitely Kislev. The Fireborn did as well, but this Ice Witch just does so just as much. But Ice Witch just get her By Our Blood, and she's not gonna be able to snipe out Larry, that's for damn sure, on foot. And she's gonna continue fighting, but it's too much for her, and she's gonna go home packing back to the Kislev farmlands. And that'll be it for Kislev. Very, very good scrap there between both players. I mean, both players are fairly even in terms of skill, so I'm not surprised this was as rocky of a fight I'd loved to see it. We got some Warline action, Warline chariot action. We got some Fireborn doing Fireborn things, being elite cav as elite cav should be. I mean, what else could you ask for? The Ice Witch, of course, did Ice Witch things, so I can't, pat her up too much because that's just how she is. But the Light War Sleds is pretty fantastic as well. So, pretty awesome game overall, though. Very, very scrappy. But Larry getting 592 value is pretty funny. Probably just from the occasional hit there on the Ice Witch or something. I'm not sure. 941 here on the Lion Chariot. They did not bad, not bad. I am pretty happy with that. I'm pretty content with that. Can't think of the last time I saw them actually do really well. So, very happy to see it. Obviously, I wish they were much better, but they have a lot to contend with in this game, so maybe they are a lot better than I think they are, and they just had a lot of pressure on them, but they did pretty good for my standards at the very least. 941. Yeah, not bad. 1067 here on these Dragon Princes. They did good. I mean, they stayed till the late game. They took on the Fireborn role there. Fireborn, they saw that the Fireborn held on for so long, fighting till the very literal end, with only like one bottle remaining. So these Dragon Princes decided they were going to do the same. I don't know if it's like Ilario, just like her elegance or beauty, I guess, managed to convince them to continue fighting, or what? Or maybe she's the tyrant. Maybe she forced them to fight for them. I don't know. But they did incredible. 1,003 here in the War Lions and 812 in the other ones. Getting some pretty great value on the Armored Corsairs. No surprise there. That's exactly where they want to be. Is just shredding apart the armor of Kislev, or like heavily armored infantry units. Back maybe before Kislev got a bunch of nerfs, maybe they wouldn't have such a good time. But definitely now they rejoice in a Kislev matchup. 1431 on the Fireborn. Did incredible. I mean, especially compared to when I initially thought they were going to be Dunzo early on at 800 value, but they still managed to freaking continue scrapping. They had no concept of the idea of routing. Like, I could imagine War God's frustration there as the Fireborn just would not run away, despite how much effort they threw at him. Yeah, trying to shut those guys down. Okay, maybe I missed out on the real breadwinner here, or the real freaking I can't think of the word here. The real weight of this army here. 1813 on the archers. What were they shooting at that I missed? Was it the freaking light war sleds? I imagine so. Was it the Lord? The Ice Witch? What the heck were they shooting at where they got 1813 value? I mean, they seemed fairly undisturbed for most of the game, so I can imagine they got a lot of their ammo off, and they had a lot of good targets. So, aside from the armored Cossars, of course, because they have a lot of armor, and I suppose the winged lancers. But they don't have like pitiful AP. They just don't have the best AP, obviously. 1,080 here on these Swordmasters and 1285. I mean, look at those kills, 154 and 239. You love to see it. You freaking love to see it. Those are some tabletop tier Swordmasters there. 23 value on the Spearman is funny. 3145 here in the Ice Witch. I mean, who's surprised? Freaking Ice Witch doing all the work. Don't you just miss seeing Lords aside from Ice Witch on Frostworm? Like, I'm not giving any grief here to War God or anything, because on Kislev I had to run Ice Witch as well, but it just I hate Meta Lords a lot of the times. It just gets so stale, but they still pretty cool. Still they're really impactful. 3145 did solid. 1178 here and 1156 on the freaking Winged Lancers. They did incredible. I mean, obviously, they are going to have plenty of good targets with the White Lions, the Swordmasters, the White Lion Chariot, and even trading decently into regular Dragon Princes as opposed to the Fireborn. So they had some pretty good options there and what to target. 84 here, 907, 1007. Light Worstlets did pretty good there. I don't remember how long it's been since the heavy Worstlets grew out of fashion because of their nerfs. But the light Worstlets are more than capable to take up their slot. They're just still incredibly good. So, yeah, they're just a very nice disruption piece and a very nice harassment. Just gotta obviously keep them away from Fireborn, which are is hard to do with that charge speed. But awesome game. Thanks to Ryder for sending this in. I'm sorry for casting it so late. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.